Wow. Welcome back, everybody. It's Faker, here with another episode of I Refuse to Read, the series where my viewers vote on which archetype they want to force me to sit down and read in real time for the first time ever. This episode was unfortunately delayed, as I'm sure many of you have noticed, but I'm not one to let a little something like the forward progression of time keep me from not reading Yu-Gi-Oh cards. In today's episode, by popular demand, we have Amazement, the winner of our first ever losers poll by a massive margin of 40%. This was clearly the standout of the last place finishers. If you want to participate in the poll in the future, please subscribe and keep an eye out on our community posts. The poll goes up every Sunday that I feel like it at 12 o'clock and closes Tuesday at 4 p.m. We'd love to have you. On to today's archetype, Amazement. A reminder that I have no idea what any of these cards do and will be trying to piece together the playstyle in real time. I have a summary of the deck here from Wikipedia, which so many of you kindly recommended last time, so let's take a look at that before jumping into the cards. It says, Amazement is an archetype that debuted in Lightning Overdrive. It is closely related to the Attraction archetype. Oh, okay. I might have to double check and make sure that there aren't any missing cards though, because I just typed in Amazement. If that Attraction archetype is relevant and not included. Though Amazement is a word in English, in the original Japanese, Amazement is likely intended to be a portmanteau of amazing and amusement. Okay. Each Amazement monster has a job title that begins with the letter A and a name beginning with A, B, C, or D that is based on a word associated with comedy. In Japanese, each monster's title is also rendered in a kanji translation, with the non-Japanese reading applied to it. The archetype revolves around equipping attraction traps to either Amazement monsters or to the opponent's monsters to gain advantage or disrupt their plays. Okay, cool. Yeah, it sounds like whimsical, right? It's like Abyss Actors, but like in a light-hearted, silly way. I'm here for it. Equipping the traps seems interesting too, so I wonder if they'll have like two different effects based on who it's equipped to, or if they're like the ninja equips where you just like benefit from having an active trap. That's really cool. I have the archetype pulled up here on YGO Pro, and wow, that is a lot of purple. You guys really went after my own heart with this one. We have 16 cards, 5 monsters, 3 spells, and a whopping 8 traps. All right, let's go. As always, we will start with the lowest level monster. That is Amazement Ambassador Bufo. All right, so he's the brand ambassador. He's the Pikachu. This is a level 3 beast with 1600 attack and 900 defense and super cute artwork. I love that. It has the effect. When this card is normal summoned, so normal only, you can target 1 attraction trap in your grave and 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. Equip that trap to your opponent's monster. That's super cool. Quick effect, you can target 1 of your attraction traps equipped to a monster, equip it to 1 Amazement monster you control or face-up monster your opponent controls. And then you can only use this once per turn. All right, that's sick. So let me get this straight. You normal summon this guy, target a card in your grave, and then opponent's monster you control, and then it equips. So this lets you like recycle traps. And if it sets the card, or if it like places the card on the field, then it actually brings the trap back. Okay, cool. So let me get this straight. You normal summon this guy, and it basically lets you activate a trap from grave, but only on your opponent's monster. However, as a quick effect, you can target an attraction trap equipped to a monster and equip it to an Amazement monster you control. So basically, this guy just lets you recycle any trap that you want from grave. So as long as it's in grave, when you normal summon this guy, you can do that. And the quick effect allows you to just constantly cycle traps from one monster to another monster. So you can like have it on your monster when you want it, or on an opponent's monster, or when your opponent summons a monster, you can switch which card that it's on. I think that's really cool. This guy seems really important in like getting your traps moved around onto the target that you want them to. I wonder if this guy's like an end board piece. He's like an end board piece that still has like function on normal summon. I like him. I like him a lot. I think that we're starting out pretty strong. Obviously, I mean, he pluses you, right? But it requires setup because you have to have a trap in grave. So he doesn't like search or anything like that, but it does technically count as a plus because you're getting a trap back from grave. I dig it. Let's move on. So we have 2 level 4s. I'm going to start with lower alphabetical order. Amazement Attendant Comica. This is a light level 4 machine, okay, with 1400 attack and 1800 defense. And she's got like the, is that like the Magic Kingdom Disney Tower in the background? I think that's pretty cool. I wonder why she's a machine though. I guess we'll find out. It's probably shown in like the traps or whatever. She has the effect. When this card is normal summoned, another normal summon only, at least she's level 4, you can set an attraction trap directly from your deck. Quick effect, you can target one of your attraction traps equipped to a monster, equip it to one amazement or face-up monster your opponent controls. Okay, so this is like just better than Bufo, because this lets you set it from deck. Or maybe not, because Bufo lets you activate it, like the turn that it's summoned. Comica requires you to set it, which means that you have to wait till the next turn. But she still has the same rearranging effect, so I wonder if all of them are going to have it. Okay, I haven't read the next one, but this seems like it would be like your go-to normal summon, right? Because this gets it's Marionetter. It's like Marionetter, essentially, except instead of being able to tag out for another monster from grave, it lets you rearrange the order of your traps, which is what like the deck wants to do. Anyway, based on the description, I think this card is crazy. I don't know why it's a machine. I don't want to get like hung up on that, but Yu-Gi-Oh has a tendency of making cards like machines that aren't machines, or spellcasters that clearly aren't spellcasters. Really weird. This card is good. This card is good. Moving on, we have the other level 4, and we are already almost all the way through the monsters. Not a lot of monsters in this. We are going to have to be seriously evaluating the traps with the framework that all of them can be like moved around and searched. Amazement Assistant Delia, or Delia. Amazement Assistant Delia. This is a light level 4 machine, so the same as Comica. With the effect, you can reveal one attraction trap in your hand. Special summon this card from your hand. Crazy. You can send one attraction trap from your hand or face-up field to the grave. Set one attraction trap directly from your deck to your spell and trap zone. Yeah, that's nuts. It's just like an extender, right? It doesn't. Now, this card doesn't have the ability to move your traps around. So I wonder if it's like not as effective in the long term, but it lets you get access to any trap that you have. It lets you extend into like rank 4s. I think this card's good. It's a starter. It's an extender. It doesn't seem to have the same kind of functionality. And I wonder if the amazement traps have any way to like cheat out their needing to wait a turn to be activated, because that would be really cool. But I imagine if that was the case, then they probably would have been a little bit more competitively relevant. I think it's good. You're going to have a lot of attraction traps, I'm sure, so that special summon condition seems easy. And while it's not as cool to have send in order to set, I think it's still powerful. So I think both of the level 4s are good. All of the normal summonable monsters have been pretty strong. No real effects on special summon though, so you're definitely wanting to normal summon these. But I guess in a trap deck, your normal summon is going to be very powerful anyway, so I guess the competing normal summons isn't as big a deal. And this card, if you open this and Comica, you can still get access to both because of its special summon condition. So I like it. Pretty good. Let's move on to the big guys. We have Amazement Administrator Arlecchino. Okay, this is a level 7 dark psychic monster. Oh, no, it was psychic, not spellcaster. Psychic is the other type that they're always like making weird monsters look psychic that clearly aren't psychic. This card is sick. I love this art. That's really cool. I like all the different like Karibos and scapegoats that he's got going on in the background too. Really, really cool. He's a level 7. If he's got a good special summon condition, you know, there are a lot of good rank 7s in the game. Oh my god, wait, he's a level 7 psychic. Is this guy a Kashtira? Is this a Kashtira monster? Dark level 7 psychic monster? I don't know. Once per turn, you can banish any number of attraction traps from your grave. Then target that many cards your opponent controls, destroy them. That is not a quick effect. That is not a quick effect at all. And it banishes as cost. Okay, seems a little fragile. You can only use each of the following effects of Amazement Administrator Arlecchino once per turn. If the trap card is activated, except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand. Sick. If your opponent normal or special summons a monster, except during the damage step, you can target one of those face-up monsters they control, equip an attraction trap from your deck to that target. Nice. That's a good piece of interaction. I like that a lot. So you can special summon him if you activate a trap card. Any trap card. So that includes like Imperm, any of the Dominus cards that don't like lock you out of special summoning him. That's pretty cool. So you just like activate a trap, you get him, and then whenever your opponent normal or special summons a monster, you can target, and then you've got more than enough. I mean, again, a lot of this is going to be heavily dependent on the trap, but that's still like fairly impressive. And it's kind of like a quick effect. It's in reaction, but you don't have as much control over it, because if you don't respond to the summon, then the window's over. And if your opponent has like a quick effect that they can chain to this, you might not get it. So it's fairly weak. I understand why it hasn't seen a ton of play, but I like it a lot. I think that's pretty cool. I think we got one more monster. Let's move on to the last guy. This is Amazement Abomination Arlecchino. Oh, look at that. They did the Yu-Gi-Oh thing where they made the normal looking guy a dark type and the Abomination is a light type. Man, Yu-Gi-Oh is so subversive. What does this say about our society? What does this say about our morals? Crazy. Level 7 light psychic monster with 2600, 2200, and now everything in the card art is like spooky and evil. And look at his red glowing eyes. Yeah, like you can't be subversive and then also make the card art work like this clearly sinister. If you control an amazement monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. Crazy. Then you can add one Amazement family faces from your deck or grave to your hand. Okay, so this is the best card in the deck, right? I mean, I guess I haven't seen a lot of searching yet, but I mean, we've got more cards left to go. But if you can get this guy and an Amazement monster, then you just like have access to so much. During your opponent's turn, quick effect. Hey, you can target one other effect monster on the field with more than 0 attack. Sure. Shuffle this card into the deck, and if you do, special summon one Amazement Administrator Arlecchino from deck, then change the attack of the targeted monster to 0. Yeah, that's fine. It doesn't say like during the main phase, so you could use it in battle, but also you're special summoning something so your opponent gets a redeclare of the attack. So you can't use that to like bait your opponent. And also they wouldn't like attack if you had this thing on the field anyway. So it gets you into Arlecchino. It special summons itself pretty easily. It searches. I don't know what family faces does, so that's going to be a big thing. We might have like a Tindangle situation where you end up like searching a card, but it doesn't do anything. But I don't know. We'll see. And then yeah, it like tags out into Arlecchino. Arlecchino doesn't have a way to tag back into him though. So this is not like a loop where you're just like floating and tagging. This is like a one-way thing, and then you have to find a way to get back into this guy. I think that's pretty good. I think this is a good monster loadout. You've got 3 normal summonable, like chill monsters that search or plus. I like them. And then you've got the 2 bigger guys, which kind of serve as your boss monster. I don't think they do enough. So I think they're going to be very reliant on these traps we're about to read. But I think that it's pretty good. I'm good with it. We're going to move on to the spells, and then we'll do the traps for last because there's so many of them. We are going to begin with the field spell. Amazement Precious Park. So this is like the carnival or the theme park where they all work. Let's see the art. Man, beautiful card art. Really cool. I like it kind of looks like the pamphlet that they give you at like Busch Gardens or something like that shows you like all the major locations in the park. I like that. During your main phase, you can activate one attraction trap the turn it was set. Okay, well, yeah, I mean, that answers my question, right? Can they get through the inherent weakness in trap cards? And of course, the field spell just like completely subverts that. Crazy. During the end phase, you can send one attraction trap you control equipped to a monster to the grave, then target one of your attraction traps with a different name that is banished or in your grave, set that card. Okay, well, that clears a lot of the issue that I had with Arlecchino, right? Because I'm like, oh, you're banishing your traps, but you want them in order to set them off like Bufo or whatever. But Precious Park lets you get back your banished traps, so you're not only getting resources back, like you're also reloading your ammunition for Arlecchino. This field spell is great. Like in terms of a field spell that doesn't just like straight up plus you like directly, I think that this is super powerful. A field spell that lets you bypass the trap restriction for a trap deck on its own is really good. Really, really good. Okay, nice field spell. Looks cool. Really, really good. Let's move on. I'm just going to pick at random. So this is Amazing Time Ticket. Is this a personal spoofing situation? Does this not count as an amazement? It can't, right? Because it's an amazing. So probably not searchable. It's a quick play spell that says pay 800 life points. Psychics, right? Like psychics like to pay life points. Pay 800 life points. Apply this effect depending on whose turn it is. Your turn. Add one amazement card from your deck to your hand. Ridiculous. Are you kidding me? Your opponent's turn. Set one attraction trap directly from your deck. It can be activated this turn. Holy shit. Man, I'm not going to lie, it's been a couple months since I've done one of these. Is this the best quick play spell that we've read? I'm going to have to go back through and look at some of the like in Archetype quick play spells. This is so nuts. Maybe the Soulful Chord one was as good. It searches during your turn, it sets a trap from your deck and then can be activated this turn. Literally lets you search your entire trap loadout. And there's a lot of them. No wonder it's not searchable. Yeah, this is personal spoofing, because personal spoofing is so good that if it was searchable, then it would have made Geist like even stronger back in like 2019, 2020 than it already was. Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. Add an amazement card. So you just get to search all your monsters, and you can search the field spell. So you get like terraforming. You can search the field spell with this times 3 because the field spell is Amazement Precious Park. Wow. Holy cow, guys. This card is nuts. I don't know what a time ticket is. Is this like, I'm going to sound stupid here. Is there any connection between like the time thieves? Because these guys are like psychics that have a similar like visual aesthetic. There's no way that's the case, but crazy card. I love that. Wow. Okay. And we haven't even gotten to the traps. I'm so excited. All these ways to set traps, and we haven't even read them yet. And all the traps, like, theoretically do different things, right? So, like, all the traps are, like, 2 traps in 1. We have Amazement Special Show. This is another quick play. Oh, my God. What is this art? That is so cool. It's like everyone is coming together for, like, a grand finale. Is that Comica or Delta? I don't know. Really cool. When your opponent activates a card or effect that targets an Amazement monster you control, target one of those Amazement monsters you control, return it to the hand, then special summon an Amazement monster from your hand. That's how you know it's a good card. This card is ass. This is really bad. You're going like -1 and you need another card in hand and it has to target. Yeah. Wow. That's super bad. Okay, wow, which is a shame because this is like the best card artwork that we've seen so far, right? Like, it's not like any of the card artwork is bad, but this card artwork is phenomenal, and the card, as far as I can tell, is just unplayable. Well, you know what? That's fine. We're ending the spells on a bit of a disappointment, but you know, you can't be happy all the time in life. If every card was just like a knockout, then this deck would probably have seen competitive play, which I don't know that it has. Okay, well, that is the monsters, the spells, and now, my friends, if you need to get a drink, get it now, because we are going to begin the long walk down the trap cards. We're going to begin with Family Faces, because that is the one that was mentioned on Abomination Arlecchino. So it's probably the most important. Amazement Family Faces. This is a normal trap card that says, target one monster your opponent controls equipped with your attraction traps. Equip this card to it. While this card is equipped to a monster, take control of the equipped monster. Cool. While you control the equipped monster, it gains 500 attack, negates its effects. Also, it's treated as an Amazement monster. Okay, that's great. It doesn't actually negate its effects. It says you cannot activate its effects, which means that if it has like a static, continuous effect on the field, I believe that's still live. So it changes its name to an Amazement monster and allows you to take control of it. This is okay. This is not bad because it's unfortunate that it says it has to be equipped with an attraction trap, which means that you need a specific trap, which is searchable, and you're using 2 traps on 1 monster. But this is searchable, which means that you can like use it to plus. So I imagine you probably play this at 1 just because it's searchable. I like the change of heart. I like the fact that it's treated as an Amazement monster, which means that you can like, if you control it, you can use it to special Abomination Arlecchino. Not bad, not game changing. I like the card artwork. There's like chibi versions of the Family Face. Oh no, they're like plush dolls. They're like toys that you win at a carnival. That's super cool. I like that. All right, moving on. We're just going to be doing these at random, just because that's the way I want to do them. We have Amaze Attraction Thrill Train. That is, I want to check real quick. Are these like on the field spell? Are these like attractions all on the field spell? There's no way that's the case because they would have to keep updating the field spell. No, it's not. All right, that's fine. Amaze Attraction Thrill Train. This is a normal trap that says target one Amazement monster you control or one face-up monster your opponent controls. Equip this card to it. You can activate the following effect based on which player controls the equipped monster. You change the equipped monster's battle position, then your opponent chooses one attraction trap in your grave and sets it to your field. Okay, so it allows you to like wall up by putting a Bufo in defense position, and then your opponent gets to pick a trap to plus you. Not great. Your opponent banish the equipped monster until the end phase. That's pretty sick. And all of these are normal traps, but because they equip, they're basically like continuous traps. So they function differently. I wonder if they're just normal traps to kind of get around or improve the way that they interact with like support, you know, because I think normal traps have more support than continuous traps do. Although you can't use like wannabe or something like that. And you can only use this effect once per turn. I think this is good. It's a banish, right? I think that the first effect on you is not super powerful, but the effect on your opponent is pretty decent. Moving on. Amaze Attraction Viking Vortex. Target one Amazement monster you control or one face-up monster your opponent controls. Equip this card to it. You can activate the effect based on which player controls the equipped monster. You Once per turn, when your opponent's monster declares an attack, negate the attack, and if you do, change control of the equipped monster until the end of the battle phase. Your opponent, when the equipped monster activates its effect, return it to the hand. So the effect on you is just like protection during the battle phase from an attack, which isn't great. It is like just a bonus effect because the effect on your opponent's monster is so powerful. It basically prevents your opponent's monster from activating an effect if they want to keep the monster. Now, the fact that it doesn't negate the monster's effect is a bit of an issue because they can just like plus off the monster anyway, and then they get it back in the hand. So if it's like a monster that activates on normal summon, they still get the effect and they get to like use it again on later turns. So not that great, but you know, it's decent. I imagine that you probably play it at 1 or it doesn't get played at all. Actually, I would imagine most of these traps probably get played at 1 just because they're so searchable. We have Amaze Attraction Wonder Wheel. This is a normal trap that says target 1 amazement monster you control. That effect is the exact same. The effect on you is during the main phase, place 1 card from your hand on the bottom of the deck, draw 1 card. That's really bad. I mean, it's a mulligan or whatever. Well, let's see what the other effect is. Your opponent, switch the equipped monster's current attack and defense until the end of the turn. Ooh, this is a bad card. Okay, I think this is the first trap that is not very good. It helps you run over things in battle and then is like a card trader. No, that is just not, I don't care how searchable it is. That is not enough. We're halfway through the traps already. Let's move on to Amaze Attraction Rapid Racing. This is a normal trap that says target 1 amazement monster you control or 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. Equip this card to it. You can then activate the following effect based on which player controls the equipped monster. You target 1 card in your opponent's grave, change the equipped monster's battle position, and if you do, shuffle that target into the deck. Okay, so it's like a bad transmigration prophecy. Your opponent, increase the equipped monster's level by 1 until the end of this turn, and if you do, change its battle position. Okay, man, I think I see the direction these traps are going. They're all like super mid. They've got like a bunch of different effects, but all of them are like fairly weak because you can see the plan, right? Like if you use it on your opponent and they've got like a sprite blue and a sprite jet, now one of them's level 3 and they can't make like gigantic sprite. That's decent, but I don't know that it's enough to play. Like it just doesn't feel impactful enough. And theoretically you could like use the U effect in order to disrupt your opponent's graveyard plays. That's super possible, but it requires so much setup, and by the time you know that you would need this card, you would probably have missed your window to do it, right? Because you're like, oh man, this is a situation where rapid racing would be really valuable. So you set it from deck off of one of your other cards, and now you want to use it, but I think that you would have to know ahead of time what you would need to do. So maybe it's like a super big brain deck, right? Like you have to know the matchup really well, and maybe you play like some of these in the side deck because they might be useful against certain matchups. I think what I'm thinking is like none of these cards are very individually powerful, but it might be something where matchup dependent and your skill as a player really comes into effect. 3 more. We have Amaze Attraction Majestic Merry-Go-Round. Man, I like the lighting on this. I like Arlecchino like riding the horse like it's an actual horse. That's pretty cool. Normal trap has the exact same condition as the other traps, and the U effect says the equipped monster gains 500 attack. If it would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can send this card to the grave instead. Okay, mediocre protection and a bit of an attack buff. Your opponent, the equipped monster loses 500 attack for each of your attraction traps equipped to a monster. So what, that's like 2,500 at most. Like if you had a full board of traps equipped to your opponent's monsters, it would lose like 2,500. Why not just play like bottomless trap hole, you know? Yeah, okay. Well, I think I'm beginning to see why this deck never saw any play. We have Amaze Attraction Horror House. Oh, that's some spooky artwork. Is that, oh, those are ghost tricks? Is there a ghost trick amazement connection? Oh, wow. That's crazy. Normal trap, same condition. The U effect says target 1 effect monster your opponent controls, negate its effects until the end of this turn. Hell yeah. Searchable, infinite impermanence, or like Lost Wind, or whatever. Sick. Your opponent, change the equipped monster to face down defense position. There's the ghost trick connection. You book your opponent's monster. Yeah, no wonder there are ghost tricks on this card. I think that this is fine. This is probably the best one that I've read so far, right? Other than maybe the Thrill Train, because it vanishes. I think this is probably the best one. It's like an Imperm or a Book of Moon. Yeah, you probably play this at 3, right? This is probably the most important one. I like that a lot. This is the best card. That's the best trap that we've read. The last card in the Amazement Archetype. We are approaching the end. Amaze Attraction Cyclo-Coaster. Holy crap, this looks like a Mario Kart level, right? This is like Rainbow Road. Who's on the cart? This is, oh, it's just Arlecchino again. Hell yeah, he's just chilling. Front row by himself. Are you guys a front of the roller coaster or back of the roller coaster people? Like, what's your opinion on the ideal place to sit? I like the front of the roller coaster because I think the view is better. As a native Floridian, we used to go to Busch Gardens all the time, and the roller coaster view from the front was always the best, in my opinion. Target one amazement monster you control, same effect, nothing's changed. You target one spell trap your opponent controls, send both it and this card to the grave. Finally, at least there's some form of back row removal. I was thinking that. I didn't really say it, but I was amazed that there was no like in Archetype back row removal. So yeah, I mean, I guess that's fine. But again, you still got the issue of like, you have to get to this card and then you have to use it. So if you can't use it to like negate, like air quote, negate a continuous spell or something like that, unless you've already got it searched, at which point you would have to know that you need it, right? Your opponent, add one amazement monster from your deck to your hand, and if you do, send this card to the grave. Okay, that's really good. I think you play this too, because you get to search, you either search Arlecchino, or you can search the Abomination Arlecchino. Yeah, I think this is fine too. Okay, we ended on a bit of a strong note for the traps. I actually really liked those. My thoughts on the deck, I think that this is super middle of the road, right? Like, it's very clear why it never saw any play. Precious Park is a really good field spell. Time Ticket is an insane quick play searcher. Like, holy cow, Time Ticket I think is the best card in the deck. And all of the monsters are decent, right? Bufo's like okay as like a mid-game grinder. Comica and Delta are both really good level 4s. I think the boss monsters do not enough. I don't think they have enough effects, and I don't think their effects are impactful enough, but they're fairly easy to summon, and they don't do nothing. I think the biggest problem is that the traps are super mid. I think they were like, we're going to give each trap like 3 to 4 effects, because they've got 2 effects, but each of those effects do 1 to 2 things. And so we're going to reduce the power level of the effects in this kind of like idea that having options is going to compensate for the fact that they're mid. I'm usually a believer in that. I like cards with multiple lower power effects because I think that the versatility is underrated, but there's a limit, man. Like, you can't have traps that add 500 attack and change battle position. In the year of our Lord 2025, or like whenever this card came out. When was it? Lightning Vortex? Yeah, or Lightning Overdrive. When did it come out? Like Lightning Overdrive? Yeah, like you can't do that. I like the art. I like the carnival theme park theme. I think it's like super fun and whimsical, and there's like a bit of a dark side, right? Horror House, Abomination Arlecchino. Like, there's something going on beneath the surface, but they didn't give us enough to actually like enjoy it. Obviously, if there are any longtime players of this archetype or people who know more than me about this archetype, please leave comments as to why I'm incorrect. Help educate me. This is a collaborative series. I'm just reading these for the first time, and I could definitely use your guys' help. I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. If so, please go check out some of the other videos I've made on this channel. I love you all. Remember to wash behind your ears.